Let's go live to O'Rourke's Public House for the Mike Brey Radio Show with your host, Jack Nolan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Brey Radio Show. Very nice crowd here tonight. Snow coming in for NC State on Saturday. We have some breaking news, though. Saturday is Hawaiian Day for your game.
I did see
They're
that today.
They're encouraging everyone to wear Hawaiian shirts to defy the snow and maybe really confuse NC State if they see Hawaiian shirts and snow. But the big question is they're giving out free lays to the fans. Will Coach Brey go shirtless like he did in Maui? That's the big question.
You know what? If we win, I will. I may do that in the locker room. And we've got our students back in town too, so that end zone's going to be rocking. We got a few of them tonight, eating some wings, getting ready, pregame wings. But
well, we welcome out here. I think the crowds. I think that's a little smaller because after this, you have hanging with Brey.
I do
in Purcell Pavilion where you're giving them pizza, so you're almost feeding them too much.
Feed them twice. I'm going to go hang with them. They're back, and we need them. But our home crowds have been great. Yeah. Without them, it'll be even better with them back in that end zone, rocking it. And our group needs our crowd, and I think our crowd has sensed that, because I thought last Saturday against Boston College we had a great crowd that really helped us believe and get over the hump and get our first league win. So, at 2 o'clock we got a ranked team coming in, North Carolina State, really good team. It'd be a great win for our young group to kind of grow up and get tougher with. So here we go. And
I think sometimes might take the crowd and the fan base for granted a bit. It's a smaller media market, but I was comparing it the other day. Jeff Capel's got it going again in Pittsburgh. They drew 6,800 the other day in the city of Pittsburgh. You're always at 8,000 or bigger for conference games.
Yeah, no, we have had a good core group. There's no question about it. And of course, when you're here as long as I've been here, you almost know every season ticket holder personally, and you see them in the off season and during the season and all of the above. But it's electric too when you get your students back. When we get that Leprechaun Legion back in that end zone rocking, and I think Saturday's going to be fun. That makes our guys believe, and we need that for our group. They need every little bit they can get.
And, in sports, folks often debate, well, can we say we? Can we say we? Well, this crowd can say we when they help you beat teams, especially a ranked team like NC State.
Now they're really gifted. There's no question about it, and play fast, a little bit like North Carolina. Even though we did a good job controlling tempo in Chapel Hill the other night, we're going to have to be good about getting back. And but they're a really gifted offensive group. They've got 6 or 7 new guys, a bunch of transfers. You're kind of learning their personnel all over again the last couple days, but. I look at it, and I think we look at it as a great opportunity for us to get a league win against a real quality team.
You've always believed in karma and things evening out. I was thinking the other night, what you are going through now combined with last year, that next year each team that you play will lose their leading scorer to injury before they come onto the floor. But in all seriousness, really a pretty good week for your team, and you did something no other team in the country has done this year. They won with only 6 players available to play. Have you ever coached a game when you knew going in you only had 6 guys?
Never been in that situation, with TJ going down right before the game last Saturday, and we were holding Jawan because of the ankle, and you got 6, and all 6 of them just did a great job. I went in before the game and I said, man, let's be a great story, instead of and our guys through, even last year and this year with the injuries, we're not hanging our head. We just, here we go, who's up, who's ready to go. And but we've gotten deeper and healthier the last couple days, so we got a few more bodies ready to go.
And look at some of the guys. The freshmen obviously have to step up. You started 3 freshmen for the first time in your tenure. You had no choice. You weren't going to start Prentice Hub because he was really struggling in ACC play. And right from the get-go, he scored 9 of your first 17 points against BC, hitting 3 3-point shots.
And I thought, it was only a matter of time before Prentice responded. I think he is really a winner. People have played off him because he hadn't shot it well. I think he's a better shooter than his numbers have said in league play. but he's also getting his hands on balls. He's leading. He's talking. So, and then he goes down to Chapel Hill. He goes down to North Carolina the other night and, played like a veteran guard for 34 minutes.
Career high 18 points.
He was really good down there, So I feel he's kind of back in a rhythm. And I think our objective now is Nate and Dane getting a feel for the ACC level. They have always responded to the level of competition, and I think they're growing accustomed to the speed, the size, and the strength of league play right now.
Nate Lashesky is our guest tonight. He'll be coming up in a few segments, but he had a heck of a debut at Virginia Tech.
Yes,
14 points in his first game. Of all the freshmen, probably handled that first ACC game the best, but I may be more impressed with his Boston College game. He was red hot shooting from three going in. He's 0 for 7 against BC. I think 2 for 12 overall. Didn't hang his head. He ended up getting a career-high 10 rebounds for you and still figured out a way to score 8 points.
Yeah, no, he is just really coming for us. I mean, we're excited about him. And, if he doesn't start, he comes off the bench. He's playing major minutes for us. I think he's gotten to be more aggressive with his shooting and scoring, and we want him to do that and hunt his stuff. But he can rebound the ball. He can get up and he can rebound the ball. And those 10 rebounds against Boston College were huge.
And you're rock. And I don't think there's a better story in college basketball. John Mooney, who has gone from a guy who could rebound a little bit and everybody thought was a three-point shooter to an absolute monster inside. Leads the ACC again, or should we now call it the Zion Williamson League, because that's all you ever hear right now.
True.
He's got 9 double-doubles, 27 points, 12 rebounds against Boston College, and he stayed in the last 4 minutes and 15 seconds on a fairly badly turned ankle.
Yeah, it came down on that guy's foot on the one jump shot and turned it a little bit, but just right now is a man for us, doing a little bit of everything, inside, outside, defending, rebounding. 19 rebounds in Chapel Hill against that athletic front line the other night. It's really neat to see because this was a progression for him. He probably came as a little more of just a shooter, a big guy who could step out and shoot, and he's learned to be a really good basketball player. He blocks shots. He's passing the ball better than I ever could have imagined. He was not necessarily great with the ball as a younger player. Right now, kicking it out to people, but really setting a toughness tone for us.
And folks, here, this monitor off to our right, we're showing, or at least we're showing some highlights here right now of some of the players that we are talking about, if you want to follow along here as Coach breaks some things down. One more point about the BC game, just the way it ended. You went up by 14, but you only had 6 guys. Everybody was waiting for the run BC going to make. I think, I hear people say they're a lousy team. I don't think they are. They're struggling. They lost a really good guy to the NBA draft in Jerome Robinson, but they've had some tough luck. But they come back and take a 1-point lead. You get it back. Take me into that last huddle.
Well, the last huddle, we're down 1, and they blocked the shot and went the length of the court. And the last huddle, just to get us thinking about winning the game at the end, I said, we're going to run what we ran in Maui. Let's just call it Maui. And it wasn't necessarily the same thing we run in Maui, but it was a little bit of a psychological mindset of we're going to figure out how to win this at the end. And they defended some stuff. Johnny had to release. Johnny did a great job of not just driving it with 5 seconds. He kicked it back to Prentice, and then Prentice had the presence of mind of driving and making an aggressive play. And you just got to make a basketball reaction right there. You're not really running a play right there. And for him to step up and make those free throws, I don't think they hit any metal. I mean, it was 2, nothing but net. Dane came back later to hit 2. Our freshman made 4 to sew it up. So we're thrilled we escaped with it, and we had to make some plays to win it and believe, and it probably helped our confidence. There's no question about it.
And it shows you what Prentice is made up of a little bit. He's used to being the guy. As he stepped to the line, he was shooting 59% on the season from the free throw line, which is not good for a guard. And he wasn't only hearing it from his friends in the crowd, the media every time, what are you going to do? How come you're not shooting? And just for him to do that shows you what he's made of and the fact that his confidence is unflappable.
Yeah, he is. He's really a winner and a really solid kid. And it's neat to see his personality coming out because he is a point guard for us, even as a freshman. He's talking more. He's calling sets. He's talking in the huddle. He's starting to lead a little bit like a point guard, even though, he's young, because he's been in a lot of game situations for us. But I have the utmost confidence in him over time because he's really he's a winner, and he's come from winning.
Now you go down to Carolina, and again, young team. That's one of the unique venues in college basketball. Over 20,000 fans were there. TJ mentioned today that you had to go to hand signals at one point because it was so loud, which is that atmosphere. You had 8 guys, but 3 of them still struggling. Juwan with the ankle, Mooney with the ankle. TJ was really sick and gutted it out. And yet you gave them one of their toughest games of the year.
Well, I thought we really played well. I mean, I was proud of our group. And again, we're close against these better teams. We haven't been able to get over the hump, but I thought the first half, and really for the game, our defense was really good. To hold them to 38% field goal percentage, our transition defense was good, which is something you have to be good at against them. And overall, the backboard was good, except for that stretch in the second half where they built a little bit of a lead. We couldn't get the first miss. And, I've told our team, Johnny can't get every rebound. Not that we want him to share rebounds. We don't want him to share. But, you got to go in there and stick your nose in there and help him a little bit on the backboard. And, but we had our chances. We probably needed one more scorer the other night. We just couldn't get one more scorer going. But in that atmosphere, I liked a lot of the things we did. And there's some things we can – feel good about moving forward before we play another good team at NC State. And then there's some things we looked at today that, fellas, to beat a good team in this league, you got to do these things better. And our groups, they're pretty good students and they accept responsibility, and we had a really good practice today.
And you have everybody contributing. Going back to the first half, you hit 6 threes from 5 different guys, and then, of course, we'll talk about it more later. You run that play at the end of the first half. Nate Leshesky hits the 3 right before the halftime buzzer. Second time he's done that in ACC play. Did he against Syracuse?
He did, and we executed a 2-for-1 really well. The time differential was really good, and Dane got a 3, we got into the lane, and then Nate got a 3, and all of a sudden you got a lead and you've got some momentum. And, of course, Prentice hits a 3 to start the second half, and you're up 6, and you're starting to feel it. They're coming at you. But again, we did some really good things in a tough atmosphere, and there's some things that you can feel good about moving forward. But then there's some things like we're going to have to get the 50-50 balls the last 6 minutes of a game when it's a close game against a good team, and we're going to have to do a better job of blocking out and keeping people off the offensive board. NC State will get up on the offensive board. We have another challenge on the backboard on Saturday.
We wrap up kind of the week in review. We got to spend some more time on John Mooney. Now, he was playing up against a guy you recruited, pretty good player in Luke May, who is on a lot of lists for Player of the Year. And I think even Carolina fans walked out of the building that night saying, you know what, that Notre Dame guy named Mooney outplayed Luke May.
He probably did. And when you look, and Luke, and I love Luke, and we tried like heck to get him. And he's had more impact early in his career, obviously, than Johnny Mooney. But if you look at them both now, it's kind of a draw. It's kind of a draw with both of them now, and especially with what Johnny's doing. And I'm just really proud of him. He's been so focused. Maybe sometimes too focused to the part where he was uptight in games and nervous and wanting to do well, that he would tie himself up in knots. I think he's more comfortable with who he is, and he's just playing. But he's playing as well as anybody in the ACC right now.
Well, it's almost too bad you can't keep him beyond the arc because he's shooting 45% from 3, but you need him inside. So he had 14 points, 19 rebounds, shot a high percentage, but he also had 4 blocked shots.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, everybody thinks we block shots and it's just Juwan, and we know he leads the ACC in block shots, but Johnny gets up there and gets his hands on stuff, and, Nate is long and get his hands on stuff. DJ Harvey gets up there, but, Johnny can anchor you back there between, one of the things he did the other day, he blocked shots in Chapel Hill, then he also took charges. You're coming at him, and he's giving you a look. Is he going to block it? He's going to rotate over, and that's a veteran guy now. He's kind of playing like an experienced guy. I may block it. I may slide over and take a charge on you. That's just a smart basketball player.
And Notre Dame right now is ranked 5th in the country in block shots per game. At 6 per game, 3.29 to be exact, or Jawan. But that means you're also getting almost half of those from other guys on the team. It's one of your most physically outstanding defensive teams that you've had in terms of being able to get up and get the ball.
Yeah, we can. We've got some length there, and we got some bounce back there to do that. And again, I mean, Carolina shoots 38% from the floor. That's a heck of a defensive effort against a team that's used to scoring, 90 and shooting 48%. And again, we play some man, we play some zone, we mix it up, and we're going to have to continue to do that through this league.
It's the Mike Brey Radio Show at O'Rourke's Public House. Fan questions coming up right after this timeout.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
Life doesn't come with a financial roadmap. It does come with a lot of bumps and red lights. Steering clear of those doesn't have to be difficult. With First Source Bank's online money management tools, you can see all your financial accounts, balances, and transactions in one place. So you can easily set monthly budgets to help manage expenses and debt. Get the green light to a successful financial future with First Source's money management tools. First Source Bank, where better is better. Member FDIC.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
Welcome back to the Mike Brey Radio Show, presented by our friends at TireRack.com. Certainly thinking about winter tires. The snow didn't show up today, thank goodness, but we kind of like it to show up for those ACC teams.
Especially those teams coming from down south, right? It's coming in tomorrow. It seems like every time we play NC State, it's snow and a polar vortex. We have had more, really cold ones. So yet again here Saturday, right?
So you're NC State. The polar vortex is here. I mean, it's going to be close to zero on Sunday, not quite as close on Saturday. You come out on the floor and look in the stands and see people wearing Hawaiian shirts. Would you think you're being trolled?
Yeah, that's true. That's good. We'll do anything to distract them.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Both Cody Owsley from Bourbon and Bob Williams from Granger have basically the same question. Coach, in college football, players are required to stay 3 years. Would you like to see the same rule in college basketball?
I don't know if we could ever get the football or the baseball rule of 3 years. It would be great to get 2. I think a year ago I thought we were closer to if the great ones like LeBron or, Zion Williams want to come out of high school, they'd be able to come out. But if you do come to college, you got to give us 2. Mm-hmm. I thought we had momentum for that a year ago. I don't think so anymore.
What changed?
I don't know if the NBA is on board to work with us on that. and because it's their rule.
Because they want to get the good ones as quick as they
Yeah.
can.
And
they want to try them out and then take them.
So what I think is going to happen is the phenoms will be able to go out of high school, and that's fine. That's good. But you could still be a one and done. You know, you still don't have to stay 2 or you don't have to stay 3. But I would think you'd have some more kids sticking around because the really great ones will just be gone. You know, you'll have a little more continuity. So I don't see that changing.
You know, in some ways, would it be better for the players? Because there's always the stars that just go and make an impact. There's a lot of guys who come out and disappear and end up in Europe. Not that that's a bad thing, but especially in your program, we can see what the experience means in terms of becoming a better player.
Well, part of Condoleezza Rice's commission and some of their strong recommendations that Father Jenkins was on is to find a pathway back for kids if they're not drafted, and to really find a way if kids make mistakes even to the point where signing with an agent, which that's going to be, used to be sign with an agent, you're done, and then he doesn't make it and he doesn't have his degree. And I agree completely with this. We have got to be, more lenient to letting those that went out thinking they were leaving and it really wasn't the right thing to come back and get their eligibility back. I think we'll see that being easier over the next couple of years, and I think that's a good thing. Now, for us, it's not really a world we're in that much. Mm-hmm. We do have an open mind to one-and-done guys. We investigate them. But for the most part, our culture has been built with 4-year guys and some, 5-year guys sometimes. And Mooney is the latest example of many that we've had who've invested with us, maybe haven't played as much as they've wanted as a freshman or sophomore, but then all of a sudden, junior, senior year, they start to become really darn good college basketball players. And Johnny's the latest example of that.
Well, and if you come here even for a year, it's not like we have a one-and-done academic sequence. You're still going to be challenged in the classroom with the first year of studies, taking those challenging basic courses that everyone here has to take before they specialize in one major or another.
And you're living in the dorm.
And that's,
You're in the dorm.
And which they've
with
now made
with a roommate.
Everybody has to be in the dorm now, whether you're an athlete or not.
True. That is changing next year.
I also have often scratched my head. I don't understand protecting amateurism, and we can do a whole show on that. But I've never understood why Pat Connaughton can go sign a contract and get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to pitch in baseball, but then he can come back and play basketball. But he couldn't sign and get a bonus to go practice with the Boston Celtics and then come back and play. That's never made any sense to me.
No, we've got a lot of – I do think over time we don't have this thing fixed. Obviously, the commission just turned their report in. What was it, last spring? They did all this work last year. And we still have some trials in the FBI stuff with college basketball. We're still going to take some PR hits here and punches when the NCAA has to levy some penalties on people caught up in the FBI thing. But over time, I do think we're maybe trending toward a little better climate and a little better, it's going to take, it may take 5 years, but I think we've tried to address some things have finally been addressed that were ignored.
Renee Buell, season ticket holder here from Michigan City. Clearly the lake effect hasn't kicked in because they were able to make the ride over to go back. Coach, I noticed that during a timeout, you first conference quickly with the assistant coaches. How does this help you when you then go and talk to the team?
Yeah, you just always love to maybe, we get some feedback from my guys and they have really good input. And, many times the 2 or 3 comments that staff gives me may be the theme of the whole timeout. Or maybe I don't use any of it, but it's just good to kind of listen. And also, I don't like to get in the huddle too soon because our timeouts are so long. And,
you're a bullet point guy.
Yeah. And you know what I found the other night? You found Carolina's out quick, too, like us. They come out, like Roy doesn't talk.
There were a lot of people the players were standing waiting for the ESPN timeouts to wrap up. Yeah.
So, it's a little long. I don't want to, I want to pick my spots to get in there so you can make some points. I mean, I try to keep them at the bench so they can rest a little bit, too, and get hydrated. But, again, the way our culture has been set up, and even though we're younger this year, we still have
voices.
Mooney and Gibbs. By the time I get to the huddle, our leadership has done a good job talking about things. And a lot of times they've talked about things I want to talk about, and they've reinforced it, which is really powerful.
We're kind of pairing up the questions by tables tonight. Doug Buell, of course, also here with Renee. Coach, it looks like NC State struggled against the zone defense in their last game. Doug, do you really want him to talk about game plan? Do you plan on more of a zone defense against them Saturday?
You know, we play both, and we ride whatever's working for us. I mean, we played zone almost the whole game against Boston College. We started zone the other night against North Carolina, got out of it, and our man-to-man was very good for most of the game. And then we went back, so we go back and forth. Now, they did not have their real good guard, Johnson, who I expect to play.
Markel Johnson last year.
Really good player. And they didn't have him on Wednesday or Tuesday against Wake in their loss, and I expect him to play against us. But we do a little bit of everything, and whatever's working, you kind of ride it.
Folks, more questions from our wonderful crowd here tonight at O'Rourke's Public House. Our show presented by TireRack.com, as are the questions. More of those questions coming up right after this timeout.
Troyer Carpets, your family-owned local flooring retailer, is the proud partner of Shaw Floors, the industry leader in flooring products for more than 40 years. Troyer Carpets offers exceptional carpets, hardwood, laminate, tile, stone, waterproof vinyl products, and more. Check them out at TroyerCarpets.com and call for a free estimate today. Don't forget to visit their state-of-the-art showroom and 10,000 square foot warehouse in Goshen, filled with in-stock deals that you simply do not want to miss. Go blue and gold!
Gulfstream Coach is looking for experienced people for the electrical and site-outs departments and will interview candidates on-site immediately from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. They offer steady production schedules at higher than industry pay rates. Gulfstream Coach is a family-owned business and offers amazing health insurance, attendance bonuses, and paid vacation time. Come see them today at 717 South Oakland Avenue in Napanee or visit GulfstreamCoach.com.
Hike! You don't have to rush 100 yards for refills or snacks when you join us for our football watch parties on Saturdays at Kankakee Grill at Four Winds South Bend. Enjoy food and drink features while watching your favorite South Bend college football games. And experience every flag, dash, sack, and touchdown this season at Kankakee Grill. We've got every game, every Sunday. It's football, food, and fun at Four Winds Casino South Bend.
Dave here. My friends at Notre Dame Federal Credit Union are celebrating 75 years of serving members right here in the local community and all over the world. This is why I love these guys. They actually have a soul and a different spirit of how they approach the customer. Since the folks at Notre Dame Federal Credit Union aren't going for profit, account members are, well, they're like owners. And it's easy to become one. Visit NotreDameFCU.com. That's NotreDameFCU.com to find out more. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Go Irish! LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram will sell all new vehicles at employee pricing plus the national ranking of the Irish. That's right. Pay only $5 over the employee pricing and you can drive a new car off the lot. LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 45 minutes east of South Bend at exit 121 on the toll road. Drive a little and save a lot. Check them out online at LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. That's LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. And go Irish!
Welcome back to the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House. And speaking of experiencing the action live, you can do that with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell your tickets. Vivid Seats helps you see more and sit closer all season long at vividseats.com/UND. We have that weekend coming up with the two number one teams, depending on the poll. You play Virginia Duke back-to-back here at the end of the month. And, folks, last minute, you might want to go to Vivid Seats and get tickets for those games. The Lisses are here, as always. Brandon's here. Coach, it is supposed to be really cold this weekend. Does this mean we might see the return of the turtleneck?
I'm not that desperate yet.
And a Hawaiian turtleneck? Yeah.
No, I think those days are over, Jack. I think those days are over. But I love. I've had many, wake up on game morning and open the shades and the wind and the snow's whipping off the lake. and a team's coming from the east or the southeast, and I'm going, I love it.
This.
I love it.
What would it take? What would have to happen to have you show up on the sidelines for a game wearing a tie?
Wearing a tie? Oh, I don't know. I mean,
that would rattle some people.
It would. Never say never, right? Never say never. I mean, it's.
Was the stock exchange the last time with the team you had a tie?
I've worn them to funerals and my players' weddings. My players' weddings, I've worn them. Actually, we got 2 players getting married this summer: Martin Gebbin and Zach Hillsley.
Yes,
what's neat is, it's a reunion of your former guys.
Is Martin getting married here?
He is. They're both getting married in the Basilica. Isn't that neat? We're going to have 2 weddings in the Basilica.
Martin, another big guy that really improved.
He got better, didn't he? And boy, did he have a great senior year.
Too bad I didn't sit him out his first year.
Yeah,
on this team, that would have been pretty cool.
Wouldn't have been bad to have him back.
Redshirting could be a good thing. Jerry Liss here as well. Coach, this team clearly has heart, but have they peaked? Are they able to win the close games?
Yeah, I think that's our big hurdle, getting over the hump against really good teams too. We played 3 very good teams in our league in Syracuse, Virginia Tech, and North Carolina. And those teams are harder to close out, and we've got the same kind of challenge on Saturday. So if we could get it against a good team, I think it would be a real confidence builder for this group who's still learning how to do it.
Austin Gall from Wakarusa would like to know, what are the steps in building confidence in the young players to take the open shots instead of passing the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to, I think the best way to help that is peer pressure of your teammates, not necessarily the coach. When Nate Lashevsky or Dane Goodwin turn down a good shot and TJ Gibbs and Johnny Mooney get on them and they need to take it, that's very powerful, and I think we have that kind of, that's what our culture is. Our older guys reinforce what our young guys should be doing.
Katie Williams is here and wants to know, why does DJ Harvey wear short basketball shorts?
It must be the new style, right? The way it's trending back up, the short shorts. And I hear the new uniforms like next year are going to be shorter. They're even shorter. It's coming. It's gone on one extreme back. So the short shorts are coming back, I hear.
I would have hated the long shorts.
Yeah. Well, you got to be in shape to wear short shorts, and he's in good shape.
Well, when I played, you had short shorts.
You got to have good legs to wear short shorts.
It was not pretty. Mark Krasinski's here, season ticket holder from Mishawaka. Coach Brey, I enjoyed reading your book and was wondering who would be on your all-time DeMatha High School team. Note you can't include yourself.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be close. You got to go Dantley, James Brown, who TV doing the football now. Danny Ferry probably has to be on there. It gets really close after that. I mean, who we put up in the Ring of Honor would be a candidate. Bob Whitmore, who that was a special weekend this past weekend. And that's why Coach Wooten says I can never pick my all-time 5, because I know I'll disappoint about 25 other guys. And I've tried to do the same thing here when people said, who's your all-time? Yeah, I said, I don't know. It's too close. I got too many good players.
Rosemary Dazinski's here, also a season ticket holder from Mishawaka. I'm just wondering what the players talk to the officials about when they are inbounding the ball after a timeout, especially Rex.
Rex was a guy, and Rex. Rex was a guy who chatted everybody up. He chatted the other players up, and I think it was a good thing.
He's talked to me during games before.
Yeah, he chatted refs up. And I think it helps them. Like, what do I tell our guys? Officials really like reffing our kids because they're good kids and you can talk to them. And I tell our guys, like, part of playing the game, part of the strategy, the gamesmanship is having a relationship with the officials. And then, you don't want to show them up or complain. Like, talk to them at dead balls. They want to get to know you. The same thing with me. My relationship with them throughout a season and throughout 40 minutes, you got to pick your spots if you're going to complain. You got to tell them when you say, that was a great call. You're right. We did walk that time. You got to pick your spots with them. So, but I've always loved, I had an official come over in the Garden, and he said, Coach, I was telling the crew before, your guys are like this for the most part. They're really steady. They're easy to talk to. They're easy to officiate, and that's part of that's the game within the game.
Well, it's like anything in life, too. If they know you and they kind of like you and it's a bang-bang play, could go either way, maybe it goes your way, as opposed to somebody you don't like. There have been coaches, and you know who I'm talking about, I won't say here, at the end of their careers, Hall of Fame coaches, who were so brutal on officials that they were getting teased 6 minutes into games, and they weren't getting any calls at all because, in part, there was a tension there.
Yeah, you just can't be distracted by officials, and that has to start with me. If I'm interacting or being distracted by officials or complaining, my players are going to do the same thing. They look over it. Like, so you've got to practice what you preach and be poised, and you challenge them every now and then. And I don't have many technicals over 19 years. Every now and then you really complain, but for the most part, that doesn't work with these guys. Like, they've been doing it a long time, and it's more communication with them. And I like the staff we have in the ACC. They do talk to you. They do come over and communicate. And some of the really good ones know when to come over to diffuse you. They do. They come over. They know maybe you have a problem the last couple minutes, and they'll diffuse you. That's the really good officials.
Gary Rivers here, as always, from Mishawaka. Kudos to you and your staff on the development of the big men. I see progress weekly. Mooney has been off the charts. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, I am not completely shocked by this because Johnny Mooney is so focused and so hungry and such a worker. There's no question Ryan Humphrey's daily personality, teaching, interaction has been unbelievable for all our frontline guys, but maybe especially Johnny. And so I just think he just needed to break through and relax a little bit because there's a lot to work with there. And right now he is as confident as anybody in the country, and it's fun to watch.
Tonight's Mike Brey Radio Show is brought to you by TireRack.com. And while we're talking shooting, rebounding, and defending, the experts at Tire Rack have cornering, traction, and performance of a different kind on their minds. That's why you'll be able to get your tires right at TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And when we come back, our sharp-shooting 6'10 freshman Nate Leshesky will join us here on the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Many things can contribute to a bad day, and sometimes the planets seem to align, and all of those things happen at once, or at the very least in rapid succession. Then you get your worst day. But if you have a West Bend insurance policy covering the important things in your life, your worst day doesn't have to end up so bad after all, because the worst brings out our best. West Bend. To find out more, go to thesilverlining.com.
When the lane's packed on the court, you go to the open player. When the lane's packed on the highway, you go to ProPilot Assist, the 2019 Nissan Rogue. Now with available Nissan intelligent mobility technologies like ProPilot Assist that can start and stop in highway traffic all on its own. Nissan Rogue, for the win. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. ProPilot Assist is an available feature and cannot prevent collisions. Always monitor traffic conditions. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. See owner's manual for safety information.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare.
The two most recognized names in orthopedic and sports medicine have teamed up to form Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance. South Bend Orthopedics and OSMC are now Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance, offering patients access to more than 40 physicians in 7 state-of-the-art locations with no referral required. As one entity, they will collaborate with a broader group, sharing experiences and ideas so you'll receive the best care possible. Although Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance is a new name, they're still committed to the community they've served for over 70 years. For more information, visit ascendantortho.org.
If your superpower is making pizza disappear, then you've got to try Papa John's new Italian Hero Pizza. Featuring a creamy Italian sauce covered with epic portions of pepperoni, salami, Roma tomatoes, onions, banana peppers, and topped with 4 delicious cheeses. It's like an Italian Hero sandwich on a pizza. Get a large Italian Hero Pizza for just $10. Download the app or order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
Welcome back to the Mike Brey Radio Show. Please welcome freshman forward Nate Leshesky, now out of Jupiter, Florida. Family's lived a lot of places. Nate, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I always worry if the guy freshman, have you ever done a radio show? He and his high school roommate did a radio show weekly in high school. So, I mean, he should be asking us questions.
That's right. We can just let him run with this thing, you know?
Northfield Mount Herman High School and Academy in Massachusetts, one of the top prep schools in the country. He's already hit 2 buzzer beaters for you. I tell you what, the first time I saw you, and don't take this the wrong way, I looked at you and saw North Carolina. He looks like a prototypical 6'10", stretch 4 for the Tar Heels, and North Carolina offered Nate. He had 19 offers. Here are just some of them: Arizona, Georgetown, Georgia Tech, Indiana, Miami, North Carolina, Texas, USC, Villanova, Virginia, Wake Forest, Stanford, and his dad's alma mater and sister's current school where she plays basketball, Wisconsin. There's even a photo online I saw today of Nate and his high school AAU teammate, Andrew Playtech, with good old Roy Williams. And they're both smiling, and Roy's got his arms around them. How did we get you?
I first thought this place was a great fit for me. My family is from the Midwest. So when I came out here, it just kind of felt like home. I had taken 2 unofficial visits out here before my official visit, and I've just always kind of loved it. So,
now you've had lots of great players. I don't mean to say you haven't, but I mean this is a heck of a class, and he's a heck of a talent.
No, he's a great talent. He is. We're very, very excited to get him, and I think everybody can see what's developing here. And we're patient, and he's patient as he's developing, and. But there's so much to work with here, and a fearlessness, a toughness. He's getting older, getting stronger, like a lot of our young players. But he's really a key guy for us. And you're right. You talk about you're playing the 10th ranked team in the country in Blacksburg, Virginia, first ACC game, and he's all over it. He's playing great, and battling the other night too. And he does other things than other than just shoot the basketball. And the way he's rebounding the ball for us, defending, getting his hands on stuff, but just a really, really bright future, and he's got a neat group of classmates that will grow old together in our program.
I knew he could shoot. I knew he could handle the ball, but I have been impressed. The one thing that you can't do is we can't give you a junior's body in a very physical league, but you have been going in there and even going over veteran guys and around and blocking out big, strong guys who have had the advantage of a couple of years of a collegiate weight training program, and you've been taking the ball away from them. You've been rebounding really, really well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Where's that coming from?
I think my junior year in high school, I was kind of known as just a shooter. And I sat down, with both my high school coach and my AAU coach, and we talked about, what I can do better to become a better basketball player and not just be one-dimensional. And ever since then, I think I've kind of taken on a role of, doing more than just shooting the basketball. And, Coach Brey talked about that too when he was recruiting me. Not just being a shooter, but doing, everything I can, to help the team. So.
And he did a little bit of this the other night. It's kind of happening as we're watching. He went off the dribble a couple times and got into the lane and make plays. He's an underrated driver, and he's always going to have driving opportunities because people are closing out, worried about his jump shot so much in the scouting report. He's got the ability to get in there. So I think that's something that we're seeing as part of it that will just keep developing. The other reason we got him and North Carolina didn't is North Carolina doesn't play stretch 4s. We do. That's why we got him, you know.
Yes, sir. Yep.
But and also certainly opportunity right away for him here is evident. When I recruited him, I said, man, we need you to be in there right away. And he's taken great advantage of everything. He's a pleasure to coach, and it's great for him to have a guy like Johnny Mooney, like an older frontline guy who, can help him and mentor him, and Johnny's been good for him.
What's been the biggest transition for you in the court so far?
I think, just the speed of the game and the physicality. I remember Coach Brey asked me the same question, a couple of weeks ago, especially transitioning from, non-conference to league play. Just, the speed of the game, atmosphere. I mean, coming from NMH, you play high school games in front of not that many people, and then coming here and playing in packed arenas, it's pretty different style entirely. So
How about the speed of the season? And I mean it from this aspect. I've had trouble keeping up. Normally, there's a system, and Coach is experimenting and plugging things in. And by January 1st, certainly, everything is set. Your roster is so much different now than it was even the second week of October. You've constantly had to change. What's it been like to change the pieces and try to get chemistry with different lineup combinations while this runaway freight train called the college basketball season is underway?
No, I think you kind of have to get used to, playing with a bunch of different guys. I think, in practice, we play with different lineups, trying out new stuff. And I think that really helps, when it comes to games, find your flow and be able to play with anybody. So,
has it been hard, though, to adjust to the Elijah leaves, you lose Rex, Robbie Carmody was in the mix early, and to lose those guys with the season going on, has it been hard to make those adjustments in season?
I mean, it's been a little difficult, but I mean, Rex has always been there. I mean, he's texting us all the time, calling us, making sure we're all good, supporting us entirely. Even though he went down, he's still there, every single day. So it makes the transition a lot easier when you got like upperclassmen, guys like him to help you through it. So,
what's it been like for you?
You know what? It's your mind is racing every day. You're right. It's this combination, and how do we help this guy, and what do we do to teach, and what do we do to get our young guys more confident. And I think for the staff, and I think for us, we've just really had to think, talk, and be ready to change. I said. One of the media after the Boston College games, what's it been like for your staff? I said, we're listed day to day. When they say you're listed day to day, we're listed day to day. We are day to day who we got today. Here's the group, here's the team, and that keeps you vibrant and thinking and energetic. I mean, I looked at the date today because you get calls. It's January 17th already, and I was like, wow, it's moving, but. It's a great group to work with, man. I mean, we have great students here. They're sharp kids. They want to be better. And I think it's up to the staff and I every day, more so this year, to really search our minds on how do we help this team more every day. There's more of that on a daily basis with this group.
You, of course, from a basketball family, you're the tallest guy. Your dad's 6'8", played 86 games at center for Wisconsin from 82 to 86. You're going to score a little more. He had 208 career points with 46 assists, 133 rebounds. His Twitter handle is @TrailingDad. Where did that come from?
I honestly couldn't tell you, but he loves his social media.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's all over it.
I did not know
He retweets a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you should get on him, because that's where the picture of Roy and Nate's. It's on his dad's Twitter feed. Now, your sister, a 6'3" forward for Wisconsin, leads Wisconsin in block shots, 27 and 17 games. Really good rebounder, but has not taken a three. So she has a different game than you.
Yeah, she got into basketball kind of late, but she's just kind of a different player than me. She's pretty athletic, runs the floor well, just different styles, I guess. So. Do
you have a hoop in the driveway at home?
Not anymore. We don't live at home anymore, but we always did growing up, and so.
Did you play 1-on-1?
Yeah, when we were younger, yeah. When she was taller than me, she used to beat me, but when I grew really late, so but she can't beat me anymore. So
now your family's lived in Belgium, Australia, Connecticut, and now Florida. Have you been part of all of this? Have you lived in all those places?
Yeah, I was born in Wisconsin, then moved to Belgium. Yeah.
Wow. How old were you when you left Belgium?
Maybe 8 years old, maybe.
So you do remember some of that?
Yeah, a little bit.
And then to Australia?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for 4 years.
Wow, till you were like 12?
No, we moved back to Wisconsin after Belgium, and then moved to Australia for 4 years. Left at the end of 6th grade. So.
Wow. So how do you think that's changed your perspective, having all that overseas experience?
I think I've gotten to experience a lot of really cool stuff, different cultures. I've got friends from different places. Even though I've got a friend, my best friend from Belgium actually goes to NC State, and I've seen him a couple times over the past few years. So I've just got great connections with different people all over the world, and just got to experience, a lot of cool stuff that, some kids, don't get the opportunity to.
All right, well, coming up next, you get to experience running the Mike Brey radio show live fast break for the first time. But first, this time out, this is the Mike Brey radio show live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Gulfstream Coach is looking for experienced people for the electrical and slide-outs departments and will interview candidates on-site immediately from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. They offer steady production schedules at higher than industry pay rates. Gulfstream Coach is a family-owned business and offers amazing health insurance, attendance bonuses, and paid vacation time. Come see them today at 717 South Oakland Avenue in Napanee or visit GulfstreamCoach.com.
Hike! You don't have to rush 100 yards for refills or snacks when you join us for our football watch parties on Saturdays at Kankakee Grill at Four Winds South Bend. Enjoy food and drink features while watching your favorite South Bend college football games. And experience every flag, dash, sack, and touchdown this season at Kankakee Grill. We've got every game, every Sunday. It's football, food, and fun at Four Winds Casino South Bend.
Go Irish! LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram will sell all new vehicles at employee pricing plus the national ranking of the Irish. That's right. Pay only $5 over the employee pricing and you can drive a new car off the lot. LaGrange Country Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 45 minutes east of South Bend at exit 121 on the toll road. Drive a little and save a lot. Check them out online at LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. That's LaGrangeCountryDodge.com. And go Irish!
Don't miss the big January clearance sale at Treat Squire Shop for men and young men. That's right, now you can move up to quality name brand men's and young men's clothing and save up to 50% during the special January clearance sale at Treat Squire Shop. Not only will you find the big names in clothing like Hart Schaffner and Marks, Hager, Racket Club, Sansabelt, and many others, but you'll also find them at huge savings. Prices have been reduced in every department throughout the store. And with Treats being a long-time family-owned and operated store, you know their personal service will be nothing short of first class. So if you're a fashion-conscious man, or know someone who is, take advantage of this special January sale. Get the right suit, sport coat, slacks, shirts and ties, even shoes at up to 50% off. Treats has hard-to-find sizes, too. Wherever you live in Michiana, it will be worth your time to make the trip to Treats. Treats Squire Shop is at the corner of Michigan and Washington in downtown Plymouth. Stop in today. That's Treats Squire Shop.
All right, Nate, you ready for the fast break questions? First car you ever drove?
My dad's Ford Expedition.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Drake.
Who is your role model?
Probably say my mom.
One thing we haven't already talked about that the public would be surprised to learn about you.
I used to play the alto saxophone as a kid.
Ooh. Favorite thing to do when relaxing?
Just play video games with my friends.
Favorite sport to play other than basketball?
Soccer.
Favorite part of practice?
Kills.
Worst part of practice?
We don't practice long enough right now to
Have a
get
bad-
to a worse part. We don't practice long enough to get to a worse part.
All right, best part of your game?
Shooting.
Part of your game you need to work on?
Probably post offense.
You've been a lot of places, so this will be interesting. City or place in the world you would like to visit?
Probably somewhere in Italy.
Which is better, a highlight film dunk, blocking a key shot, knocking down a huge three, or grabbing a big rebound?
Knocking down a huge three.
Yeah. And I enjoy saying that when you knock down a huge three. One thing you always hear from Coach Brey in practice.
Let's find our flow.
Assistant coach who is most like Coach Brey.
Coach Bolanis.
Yep, that's true. All right, one word or two on the other staff members. Ryan Ayers.
Energetic.
Eric Atkins.
Funny.
Ryan Humphrey.
A character.
Harold Swanigan.
I have to go with funny again. I mean, they're all just hilarious.
Player on the team most like you.
Robbie.
Player on the team you think will surprise the fans the most the rest of this season?
Dane.
Best player to room with on the road?
Robbie.
Toughest Notre Dame player to guard?
Mooney.
Best defender on the team?
Jawan.
Best leaper on the team?
I don't know. Is it leaper?
Leaper, jumper.
Jawan.
Best dunker on the team?
Robbie.
Worst dunker on the team?
TJ.
Best dresser on the team?
Me.
Worst dresser on the team?
Mooney.
Best singer on the team?
TJ.
Worst singer on the team?
Probably myself.
Best comedian on the team?
Chris.
Guy who thinks he's funny but really isn't?
TJ.
Beard growing competition, who wins, you or Coach Brey?
Well, look.
Yeah, definitely not me.
I said the other day, he and Dane Goodwin walked in. I said, "Can you guys grow a beard?" And I don't know.
Well, I'll give you the backup. Free throw shooting competition, who wins, you or Coach
that's
Brey?
not even close. That's
all
not
right,
even
all
close.
right. Nate, great job. Looking forward to having you on again.
Great job. Thank you.
We'll be back to wrap up this edition of the Mike Brey Radio Show right after this timeout.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
This isn't just any Wi-Fi. It's the best in-home Wi-Fi experience to stream the most free shows on any device. It's how Xfinity makes life simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity delivers fast speeds and the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Perfect for streaming your favorites. Access the most free shows and movies, and even your DVR recordings on any device with the Xfinity Stream app. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare.
Here we go. Going to wrap things up on this edition of the Mike Brey Radio Show. NC State coming in here on Saturday. They also have it in for you because you have done very well against them. You've won 5 of your 6 games. You lost last year in Raleigh when you were short-handed. They, however, have been a good road team. 5 of their last 8, although they only have 3 guys back from last year. But the new nucleus has matched with the old guys coming back, and they've been playing pretty good basketball.
No, they're an explosive offensive team like North Carolina. They're in the top 15 in pace. They want to play fast. They want it to be a track meet. We do not want that, and we did a good job of not getting into that the other night in Chapel Hill, which is why we had a chance. But we're going to have to change defenses. But for us, we're still finding. Nate said finding a flow offensively. We're going to have to do that more consistently and score more to beat the better teams in this league, and I'm hoping we can have one of those afternoons on Saturday.
So if it snows, leave early. Most of the snow is supposed to be south, but when Purcell Pavilion, and I'm not being gratuitous here, when Purcell Pavilion is packed, it is as tough a place to play as any place in the league.
No question. The coaches in the league tell me that. They say, boy, your place. And that's, and again, we got the students back. We got the Legion back. We need one of those days to earn another league win. For us to get to 2-3 in this league and just keep scratching and clawing would be a huge step for us on Saturday.
All right, Coach. Thank you, folks. Thanks for coming out. 2 p.m. Saturday. We'll be back here next Thursday night. Good night and go Irish.
The Mike Brey Radio Show, presented by the experts at TireRack.com, was brought to you by Vivid Seats, First Source Bank, St. Joseph Health System, West Bend Insurance, Nissan, South Bend Orthopedics, IBEW Nika, and Papa John's. Also sponsoring tonight's show, LaGrange Country Dodge, Four Winds South Bend, Gulfstream Coach, and Troyer Carpets.